Hey guys, Ace is here from NetflixMarketing.com, and I'm actually sitting in front of a green screen, which I hope to start using in the next few videos. But until I do, I'm just going to use it as a backdrop because I think it still looks pretty cool. But today, in today's video, really, what I want to talk about is the top 5 things you need to be aware of if you're looking to start your own business, whether it's a brick and mortar business, whether it's an online marketing business, whether it's anything that you really are delving into as an entrepreneur. I think it's 5 things that, as an entrepreneur, you're going to face and maybe struggle with, and so I'd rather just give you guys the heads up, so at least if it does happen to you, you kind of have that in the back of your head and be like, I remember Ace is talking about this. So the first thing I want to talk about is being your own boss. So if you're now delving into the entrepreneurial world, and whether you're doing entrepreneurial business full time, whether you're actually just doing it part time, whatever the case is, the cool thing is your own boss, right? You're your own boss. You can do whatever it is that you want in your business. The bad thing is you're your own boss and you can do whatever the hell it is you want in your business. So what I mean by this, guys, is that now that you are, delving into being your own boss, you basically have control over whatever it is you want to do in your business. But the same token, you can also do nothing in your business and no one will ever say anything, right? So if you're not really being productive, the only person that you're really damaging is yourself, right? It's the only person that you're really not living up to your potential is you, right? So the results are not going to show. And what's going to happen, though, is if you're not being productive, if you're not doing things that you need to do to keep your business moving forward, what's going to happen is you're going to stay stagnant. And what happens a lot of times is that entrepreneurs just quit, right? They're not seeing any results, and so they quit. By the same token, the second thing I need you to be aware of is that you're on your own schedule. So by the same idea, right, if you're on your own boss, then obviously you're on your own schedule. And so I remember that a lot of the times when I got started, in business, I was trying to always keep busy, right? I was always trying to keep things where I felt like I was always doing something, but that something wasn't always something productive, right? And I kind of touched upon this a few seconds ago, but what I mean by this is that I'm sure you've probably found yourself scrolling through Facebook, or checking your emails, or watching videos on YouTube, or doing a bunch of stuff that kind of keeps you busy, and sometimes it feels like you're being productive because maybe you're watching like personal development videos, or you're watching training videos on how to do something technical, right? But unless you're actually applying any of this information, you're not really going anywhere, right? So you're going to be staying in the same spot. You're going to be staying stagnant. And so if you don't have yourself on a schedule of productive things you need to do, things that are going to move your business forward, like writing an email to your list, like setting up an ad campaign, like creating content like this of value that you can forward off to your list, or anything like that, right? These things are things that are going to move your business forward, are things that are going to be able to grow your business. But if you're not keeping yourself busy doing things like this, then what it's going to be doing is you're really just wasting your time and you're keeping yourself busy. And so that's what I mean by making sure you have a schedule of things you need to do to keep productive and keep moving yourself forward, as opposed to just keeping yourself busy and keeping yourself stagnant. So the third thing I want to talk about now is income being inconsistent. So as an entrepreneur, right, you're starting off as an entrepreneur, it can be a bit of a shock, right? When you want to start producing income, you're keeping yourself busy, and maybe you are doing the right things, right? Maybe you are producing the right content. Sometimes you are emailing your list on a regular basis. Maybe you are doing all the right things in your business. However, you're not seeing the income. You're not seeing any money coming in, especially if you're coming from a full-time job, or maybe you still were working full-time, or whatever the case is for you, right? You're used to having that income coming in on a regular basis, every 2 weeks or once a month, or however it is you get paid. But as an entrepreneur, you don't have that, right? You have very inconsistent flows of income, and especially when you first get started, right? You may only make a little bit of commission here, a little bit of commission there, and sometimes it might not be enough commission to keep you, to cover all your expenses and your costs. And so, it can be kind of a frustrating or a stressful thing, especially if you are on a really low budget, right? And so that's why it's sometimes easier to have a job that can kind of supplement you and kind of help move your business and kind of fund your business until you can kind of get it afloat, where you can, that you're making consistent income in your business, so that you can focus on that. So that kind of brings me to my fourth point, which is it can kind of be expensive when you first get started to start your business. So I know this is very true, especially if you're thinking about an online business, but an online business is actually a lot cheaper if you're thinking about it in terms of comparing an online business versus a brick and mortar business, right? A brick and mortar business, there's so much more overhead, there's so much more expenses, there's so much more cost to getting that started, right? Because if you're thinking of maybe starting like a business, like a store or something like that, obviously you need inventory, you need a place to put the store, like you need a location, then you need inventory. I might have said that already. You're gonna need to staff it, all that kind of stuff, right? And so that overhead can be very, very big if you're thinking about a brick and mortar business versus an online business. All you you really need is to create some information products if you're doing it on your own, or you can leverage somebody else's by being an affiliate or something like that. So the overall cost of an online business is still going to be cheaper than a brick and mortar business. However, it can still cost you a little bit of money to get yourself going, right? Between maybe doing paid ads if you're thinking about going that route, or if you're thinking about maybe starting off as a high ticket affiliate in a maybe more of a high ticket company versus something that's low ticket, meaning lower barrier of entry, so it's something cheaper. Obviously, when it's cheaper to get started, it's a cheaper commission that you're going to make most of the time, right? So if you're investing a little bit more in your business, then you tend to be making higher commissions, which can help kind of move you along the way and help exponentially grow your business a little bit easier. And so that's kind of the idea, that it can be kind of expensive to get yourself started at the beginning, but think of this as an investment into yourself, an investment into your business, because that money will come back to you. It's just a matter of time and a matter of the work ethic that you're going to put into your business to help grow it. And the last thing I want to talk about here, the fifth point, is people suck. Okay, so what I mean by this, guys, is that thinking about in a close circle of people that are around you, some people aren't going to understand what it is you're trying to do. I know as an entrepreneur and who has that entrepreneurial itch, right? Sometimes you have a vision of what it is you want to accomplish. You have an idea of what you want to set out to in your business, but people don't see that, right? And it's frustrating when it's the people that's close to you, people that you care about, that don't really understand what it is you're trying to accomplish, right? It could be your spouse, it could be your brother, your sister, your parents, right? They don't understand exactly what you're doing. All they're seeing is you putting this time and this effort into something that maybe isn't getting you results right away, and so they're thinking maybe you're getting scammed, or they're gonna think that you're wasting your time, that you're crazy, right? And so you gotta have to keep yourself focused and know that you're gonna be successful in your business as long as you keep focusing on the right things and keeping yourself moving forward. Now, that's on a personal level. Then there's the second part to that, which is the haters, right? The people who you kind of who naturally just attract to you, because as you become successful, as you're doing more things, and you're starting to see some results, you're gonna attract people who are gonna criticize you online, right? People who are gonna leave comments, the online haters and the trolls that you're gonna find online, who are gonna comment on your blogs or comment on your videos or comment on your ad campaigns or whatever. There's a billion of them out there, right? But the point is that these people they're just talking about it, and it's really just a reflection of them. That's what you got to really keep in mind, is that these people, if they're saying nasty comments about you or your content or whatever, you just gotta leave them aside and not worry about them. And the biggest reason that they're doing that really is because they weren't able to see success themselves. They're sour, they're bitter about their own results in their own lives, and so you can't take that personally. It's really all on them. It's a reflection of what they're doing. But you just gotta be prepared that that's gonna happen, right? You're just gonna have to grow some thick skin, especially if you're working online. You're putting yourself out there, and that's more than 99% of people. Most people don't want to put themselves out there. They're scared of putting themselves out there, but you're brave enough to actually go ahead and do that. So make sure that you grow that thick skin and don't worry about it. Just brush it off, because you're doing something that most people are scared of doing. So that, good on you for that. So those are the 5 top things that I want to just warn you about, give you a heads up about in terms of, getting started in your business, because it's things that are going to happen. And I hope I can give you a little bit of a heads up now that you've heard it. So if it does happen, you can remember this video. So if you've got value from that video, you know what, guys, share this with other people. So maybe share it with some of your entrepreneurial friends. Share it on your feed. And until next time, guys, I hope you really got value from that video. Let's get out there, have some fun.